Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I am excited yet again because my next extraordinary guest is a certified psychic, trance, and evidential medium that helps with helping parents heal and certified mediums by Mike Ireland. Yes, hope I didn't mess that up.
It's good enough.
And a whole lot more. But without further ado, allow me to introduce to you Barbra Banner. How are you doing today, Barbara?
I'm good. I'm also very excited to be here.
Absolutely. And I would like to extend my sincerest gratitude to you because I'm a firm believer that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to choose to spend even a moment of your time in the history of your timeline here with me on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, thank you very much for being here at this present moment.
Supposed to be here, so
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now let's just get right into it.
let's get into it.
Give us a bit of insight on you being a certified psychic, trance, and evidential medium, how that kind of ramp up to it, how it came about, and what it all entails.
Well, I was as surprised as everybody else in the family, believe me, because it came to me, just 5 years ago. Um, I was not one of those kids who saw orbs, flying around the crib or anything. Nothing came forward. At 13, I did tell my friends, I think I'm a witch because I didn't know I didn't know anything. And because I just felt a little psychic, other than being interested in the paranormal and stuff, nothing. And then late on, in the pandemic, all hell broke loose at the house with paranormal stuff going on. And, orbs in videos I was doing, lights flashing, fans going 100 miles an hour, things flying off the wall. And I just said, okay, I am being called for something and I better find out what it is. So I took a class with Suzanne Giesman, a very wonderful medium, and I hit the ground running. I mean, just right away, I was getting messages and seeing people and hearing things. So I didn't find out till a little later when I was, seeing my dad. I thought I better tell my mother, and and I said, Mom, I don't know how you're going to take this, but I'm a medium now. She said, don't worry. She said my grandma was had all that juju. She was taking me when I was 5 years old to tea leaf readers and psychics and all that stuff, and people were lining up to see her. I said,
Wow.
Mom, you're 104. When were you going to tell me? She wasn't going to tell me. They kept it from me. And channelers also told me I've been doing this for like centuries. So
Wow.
I figure, okay, they kept me in mothballs for a long time. But during that time, I spent 30 years doing volunteer work, volunteering for organizations that helped me be a medium, like
Wow.
the Los Angeles Crisis Response Team, where I went to a scene of where there was a deceased body, and the police were there, and the family showed up, and I had to help the family get through the worst couple of hours of their life. So all my training over 30 years in things like that, in crisis and trauma, it was all for a reason. I didn't know I was doing it.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for giving us a bit of insight on that. And that's amazing. Allow me to interject a bit. But when you were first describing how things were kind of chaotic in the house, things falling off the wall, in my perspective, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, they knew you, the other side, spirits, whatever, knew you had that gift and was trying to get your attention.
Absolutely. As
Yeah.
I said, they had me in mothballs.
Right.
They know
Yes.
everything. So
Right.
they just
Right.
said, now's the time. Now's
Right.
the
Right.
time.
Right. And you also mentioned that you had a foundation in crisis
And
prevention.
grief,
Yes, yes.
trauma, all of that.
Yeah, I saw that volunteer for Women's Crisis Hotline. Give us a bit of insight on that. I want to get back to your psychic, your certified psychic and trance evidential medium. But yes, since you mentioned that crisis, give us a little window
I
into
I
what you
always
did.
wanted to find a volunteering position that I could do like one day a week that
Right,
that I could roll my sleeves up and get in and really help somebody and do something besides writing a check.
right,
And wouldn't you know, I opened the paper and then the women helping women.
right.
Um, and I signed up and spent like 3 months training with therapists and all sorts of people in all sorts of issues, whether you suicide or homelessness or rape or anything, we got training in, and that was in itself such a reward for me to have that background.
Hmm.
And the crisis response team for the city was really intense. You know, we'd go be on call. We could get called at 3 a.m. to go to the scene of a, homicide or any kind of passing. And
Right,
it was it was really up in your face, but
right.
I
And,
loved it.
and so during that time, your purpose there were to help people get through that
Right. The
shocking
police
moment.
were there and they
Okay.
had to measure and do pictures and they were busy doing their job and the coroner would show up and they didn't have time to sit with the family
Right,
and give them tissue and water and let them talk. And so it was like I just let them talk mostly
right,
because
right.
they needed to process it. So I was just
Yes.
there for them to hold
That's
their hand
wonderful.
or get them a seat or whatever we needed,
Right.
whatever they needed.
Yes, allowed them to process, to vent, to try to make sense of it all
Right.
and to grieve.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Yeah. Even just listening, that sticks out to me. Just listening
Just listening
oftentimes is the best remedy to a lot of situations.
for grief. Yeah.
In my perspective, in my experiences, I've had to really check myself, so to speak, to listen more instead of always wanting to add my perspectives and solutions when people are trying to, they're trying to eradicate and process these emotional feelings. Oftentimes, we want to give them our
It's going to
feedback.
be
Yeah,
okay. That
yeah,
we don't do that.
right.
Everybody grieves differently. Some people are screaming and crying and throwing themselves on the floor in agony and others are just like zombies, So we just have to go with what they need. There's no magic words to say in
I'm
this situation.
turning this light down a bit. Sorry to take away from you. I'm not, but I just
It's okay.
noticed it's kind of bright. But yes, you also had 35 years in marketing and advertising. Tell us about that a little bit. Just I know this is kind of backwards, but
That's okay.
it's a
Yeah,
conversation.
I I was a advertising writer and marketing writer and art director, and worked for the biggest agencies in LA and part in New York. And um, I loved it. I was young. I was, out of college, and I just couldn't believe I got these jobs at these giant agencies and got to work on major campaigns and was really good at it, and then went freelance and had my own client. It was great.
Right.
It was wonderful. That was my purpose in life at that time.
Wow.
And then my purpose in life became to do mediumship readings and help people
I
in grief.
I really resonate with, and I feel that that's a powerful statement. That was a purpose. That was the purpose of my life at that particular moment. And
Right. And there's
that
not just one purpose. We have, as long as you're enjoying it and loving it and have passion for it, that's your purpose. But if you get bored with it, you go get another purpose. So we just keep evolving.
absolutely, and that's exactly, you took the words right, or you aligned with the words that I was going to, present.
You were
So
going to say, well, I am psychic, so
yes,
don't be so surprised.
yes, no, I'm not surprised. It's yes, it's amazing, and I flow along with it. So yeah, that's a perfect example to people out there um, viewing this segment right now. That yes, you don't necessarily have to just stick to one purpose. We evolve. We're always changing. We're always, yeah, evolving, expanding, becoming more aware,
Right.
becoming more in tune with ourselves, with our inner selves, more connected. So things change, things evolve, things.
Clients always want to ask, what's my purpose in life?
Right,
And I say, I don't know. What your soul and heart
right,
knows what your purpose in life is before and after and everything else. I said, what gives you joy? And they have to think about it. And I don't tell them, I just open it up with
right,
another question because it has to be from their heart.
right,
I can't tell them. Although
right.
once I told a woman, I said, I believe you. She asked me, and I said, I I think you should go to Africa and you could work on a game preserve for elephants. Don't that came out of my mouth. I didn't say it. Spirit. And she said, that is exactly what I said to myself yesterday.
Right,
So that was spirit
right,
saying, all right,
absolutely.
I like what she came up with yesterday. Why don't you just say it? And she'll know that I agree. So sometimes spirit will get in there and want to validate what we were all thinking.
Absolutely. And I can really connect with that because even in regard to the title of this podcast, it came to me. I didn't sit and study. Soon as I start to think, what should I call, you know, what title can I put, as an umbrella over everything that I'm intending to do, and that's connect with people, with wellness, with spirituality, with consciousness, with emotions, with mental, with everything, in
Everything.
regards to elevating and to making aware. And it came to me, enlightened, empowered, evolved. And
I love that.
yes, yes. And it came to me like just plain as day. And then I've stuck with it since 2019. So I agree with you and I resonate with you in that regard. And also it's an example and also affirmation to other people to calm down and listen to, spirit, listen to source. It, always speaking
Meditate.
to meditate.
Meditate. And even if you
Yes,
don't want to, and even if you say you don't have time, I say, you have to go to sleep every night? Yeah. Well, that's when you get in the bed and you're all woozy and you're not worrying about going to the bakery and picking up that cake and your mind is free. Put on some earphones and do a guided meditation
absolutely.
to connect with your loved ones. I want people to connect on their own. They don't really need me. So I do, like at the end of a session, give a little exercise for them to do so they know they can do it themselves.
And that's exactly what I was going to say next. Can you give us a bit of insight on how you would actually, first of all, your intentions, which I don't want to be redundant because you've already kind of laid it out there for us, but your intentions in regard to your psychic trance and evidential medium, I don't want to call it work, but purpose. Give us your intentions and lay it out a little format of how you would work with someone.
Uh, well, I don't teach any classes. I
Okay.
figure somebody who's hasn't
Okay.
been doing this for more than like 5 years would be uh, not ready to do classes, although people
Right.
want them. So
So say like I came to you, okay, and for what purpose? I'll let you
I
say it.
would try to, I at the end of a session, because
Right.
for the session, I'm giving them evidence and validations of what they thought, and if they choose the trance session, that at the end I'll go into a trance and give them a message, you know, from one of the loved ones that we brought through.
Right.
And at the end, I want to show them that they need to trust
Right.
that their loved ones are always with them, just
Right.
like awareness away. And to do that, I tell them, and you can follow along. I say, when I count three, I want you to tell me the first like item that comes into your mind. One, two, three. What is it, Lute? Don't think. What is it? What
Uh,
item or thing is in your mind
just
now?
this globe right here. I was just looked
A
over at it.
globe.
I think I
Okay.
had to think though. I
It's
think I
okay.
had to think because I had to attach it to something. But the first
All
thing
right.
is just
The
really
first
listening to
thing,
your voice, just your voice.
well, well, you may have to hear me, but let me give you an example of the kind of thing. So another host said an elephant.
Oh, okay.
And then she said, how am I going to see an elephant? Okay. I said, it doesn't count if you go to the zoo. You are going to see a representation of an elephant in the next week or so, and you will know that it is from your father, who I had brought
Mm,
forth in a
mm.
session. And and I said, it will be unexpected. It will not be where you think. So a few days later, she she sends me a picture. She said, I took my son to a mini golf course, and look what was there. A
Yeah.
giant elephant
Elephant.
on a you had to hit the ball through their legs.
Right.
That's the kind of crazy things that spirit can do. This one is
Abs-
also. I had a woman
absolutely.
who said her husband, she said a wrench because her husband left to work on cars. So she wanted to send me a picture of her very handsome husband. I cut his head off so for privacy. And so
Right.
she sends me a picture and she said, blow up this Google band that's on the bottom. You're not going to believe it.
Right.
There
A
is a
wrench.
wrench in the
Absolutely.
Google logo. You have
Absolutely.
never seen that before. They have ne you they nobody messes with the company logo, okay?
Right.
That's the kind of thing. And I said, now that you know your dad is around you, as soon as they email me and say, "Yep, I got it,"
Right.
um, I said, "Now you know he's around you, so trust
Absolutely.
your intuition, and do this with him every week, every Sunday. If you got kids, let them say what they see. They're putting it in our head.
Mm.
They know when and where we're going to see it. So
Wow.
trust it, and it could be such a joy to bring that person's essence in every week and know that they are there
Wow.
helping you."
Wow. That's amazing. And it's exciting and intriguing to me, but like you mentioned earlier about don't be shocked or whatever, I'm I don't want to make this confusing, but I am thankful that I'm in a space now that those types of things don't shock me anymore. I still just like wink to
Right.
myself like I know. I see things like I think things, and next thing you know, I'll see something uh, in affiliation with it on television. And I just had that thought, and I don't know where that
Exactly.
thought came from, but now you are putting some clarity as to where these thoughts are coming from.
Yeah, they're putting things in. They want you to believe. We all grew up like seeing is believing. We used to say that in our business, in this arena, it's
Right,
believing is
right,
receiving.
right,
Okay? Because so many people say, I'm not getting any signs. And then I'll tell them all the signs they're getting. Well, uh, you know, I thought the butterfly, I noticed butterflies, but I thought it was butterfly migration season. I said, where did you come up with that cockamamie thing, migration season? I told you butterflies were going to be what your thing.
right.
And they don't believe it. If they don't believe it, then they're going to miss it.
That's right. Yeah, they don't believe it, and that leads me to say this. You have to believe it into a point of knowing and leaning into it. Don't lean away. Lean into it. Like for a long time, and still it happens. I see the numbers 333 often, and I know it's someone communicating with me.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's why I leaned into it and named my email 333 Empower. And it's a short version also to connect with my YouTube, and also my website is 333empower.com. So I totally leaned into it. Yes.
You have a grandmother in spirit?
Yes, I do.
I believe that. I think the 333s are from her. Um,
I do.
yeah,
Hmm.
sort of on the shorter side, curly
Yes,
gray
yes.
hair and
Yeah,
glasses. She might have worn that chain or something around it too. She's
I think so. I think, yeah,
so
shorter hair too.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yep. You got it.
that's she's the one who's given you those signs. So when you see them, even listen, even when you wake up in the middle of the night,
Right,
I wake up like like say 3:16. I will grab my phone, go to Google and put in 316 angel number. There's a
mm,
message for you. I
mm,
getting messages, every night they wake me up for something.
right,
So they're there. Look them up. It doesn't have to be 333 or 222 to
right,
know that they're sending you. That's a message for you. Go and look up the numbers as angel numbers
right,
and say, boy, did I need that. Now I can go back to sleep.
right. Yes, I always verbally say thank you, when I see the numbers or anything happens, like where I forget to set my alarm, right? But I wake up exactly at the time that I would have set it for. I'll say thank you because I know
Yeah.
someone's doing that.
Someone's giving you a kick and saying, get the hell up,
Get
lazy.
up, get up.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Get up, lazy. Yeah. Yep, exactly. So that's amazing. So is there anything that we did not highlight or touch up on in regards to your passion, your work?
Well, I have very funny guides and they they give me pretty funny visuals of when I'm doing a reading that
Right,
are like OMG moments, even for me.
right,
Um, and mediums don't really like being tested. This isn't, we're not doing it for applause,
no, no,
but sometimes people need something extraordinary to believe again. I had a woman who comes to me every year, um, and she always says the same thing. My husband has not contacted me in 6 months. I, I, I don't think he's around me anymore. You keep telling me he's always around me. And I say, he is. And she said, well, if he is, she goes, I haven't gotten any messages. She goes, he might be with another woman. She was really flipping out. Okay.
wow,
I said, he's not. She said, okay, if he really is around me, like you say, he will know what TV show I binge watched during the pandemic. Now, that scared the hell out of me. How am I going to come up with that? There's only like 20 million shows for the 5 years. But her husband and I were very close because he comes all the time. And I said, Outlander. It just came out of my mouth. And she said, yes, it was Outlander. She said, you have no idea how much that is healing for me. That I keep getting the validation that he is around me, even if I don't feel him or see him or get a message.
wow,
So, as much as I don't like to answer those kind of questions, because that's not what we're here for,
boy, right,
Spirit said she needs this. She needs you to answer this for her. Otherwise, she's going to have like a nervous breakdown.
wow,
So, things like that come up and that are like, oh, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, they're pretty, they give me very interesting uh, pieces of evidence sometimes. And
wow,
sometimes the people don't even recognize it at the moment. And then they like, oh,
wow. Yeah, thank you for give showing us that, and also for me in specifically allow showing me that, making me aware of the fact that even though I have been seeing 333, don't only look for that. And I focused in so much on that. You had to
Right.
give me like a gut check, so to speak, to say, hey, no, there's other signs as well. Wake up, look at the clock, pay attention to everything. Be aware of everything. It might not say 333. It might say something else. So
Right. And look
yeah,
it up. What do you got to lose? Everything. There's so many messages they give us with numbers and things, whether you get you find feathers every in different places that you don't
right.
understand them. Or I always say if you see a coin, because they're very big on giving coins, pick it up
All the
and look at
time.
the date. Look at the date.
Okay.
So I told a woman that. She goes, I've been getting coins forever. I've never looked at the date. She called me the next day. She goes, I found a quarter where I did not expect to find it. Okay. It was like under this and that. And I looked at the date because we had her grandfather during the reading. She said it
Right.
was my grandfather's angel day, angel year.
Mm, mm.
So she goes, now I'm going to look at the whole jar of coins that I've collected and find the dates. I said, your birthday will be in there, your mom's. There's a lot in there that they're letting you know it's them.
Right. And that's wow, that's amazing because I always find a single penny or a single dime or something.
And aren't you,
Often.
are you collecting them?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I pick them up. Yeah,
All right, you go
I
back
never pass. Yeah.
tonight and I want you to look at the dates and then you email me and let me know that it was this one's year they were born. This is the year they died. This is this. And you're going to have like a whole family reunion of the
Oh
years of
wow.
people.
Yeah, because I always, no matter what, if it's a penny, most of the time it's a penny, I pick it up.
Pick it up.
Yep, I do. And that even probably stems from even as a child, see a penny, pick it up, and all day you'll have good luck. So that has stuck with me from a child.
Right.
So I always
I
pick
had
a
a
penny
woman,
up.
I said, your husband is saying, stop walking over the coins I'm leaving you. And she went like this. She goes, I was in Las Vegas yesterday and there was like a penny on the floor. And for a millisecond, I thought it was could be from the other side. And
Right.
she said, and I walked over it. And she goes, I
Mm,
can't believe he saw me do that. And he's telling me, don't do that anymore. So I said, they're around you, lady. Okay.
right.
He knows exactly what you're doing and he is leaving you coins. So get a changed person, start collecting.
Wow. Wow. I appreciate you giving us some insight, more
Little
insight.
anecdotes that
Yes, more
help
insight
people
on,
relieve. Yeah, believe.
yes, on what to look for and what to be aware of. Awareness is to me, in my perspective, very important. When someone or something, anything can open you up and make you more aware and expand more, that is awesome. That is part of, to me, evolution.
Right. And
We're
what's the worst
evolving.
thing if it wasn't from your husband? So you pick up a penny, you have to be open.
Right.
Not every leaf that you see on the ground is going to be a sign, okay? But
Yes.
one that lands on your head, I think you got a good chance. Or the bird that's walking on your windowsill back and forth, okay? And when the
Right.
rest of them are on the wire,
Right. Right.
they're around you. They want you to notice them.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. You've kind of given me uh, don't just focus on, I don't want to say don't, but focus on more than just your 333 and also not everything.
Right.
Use,
You have to
yeah,
use
not
some
everything.
common
Yeah,
sense.
right.
Okay.
Not everything is a message. You're like, hey, I just felt this itch right here. It must be my dad.
Right. And
But it
if you
could
hear a
be.
song that your loved one loved,
Right,
you go right and Google the lyrics because there's a message in you, especially like you're listening to the Western station and all of a sudden Frank Sinatra comes on with a song and you say, what the hell is that? Go and get the lyrics, okay? And you will know the quatrain or whatever which is for you. Those are signs too, music that someone really liked or
so
gives you a memory.
so if I hear the song Frank Sinatra, ain't that a kick in the head? That means that I need to be kicked in the head or what?
No, it means look in the lyrics, and it probably said, I love your bald head. Let's scratch it together, or something that that your mother might be sending you, whatever, but
Right.
there's always a message. They're
Right.
trying all the time.
Right. Amazing. Well, thank you very much, Barbara, for being here today. And also, I will be sure that I have any links that you've uh, made me aware of that you've sent to me. It'll be in the description of this segment when it's uploaded to all the platforms, the audio platforms, the streaming platforms. It'll be
Thank
there,
you.
and the video will be on YouTube. But
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So, if there's anything else that you would like to share, any links that you would like to share before we
No, just,
conclude?
my website, you can book from it, and when you do book, I give you a resource page of things you can do yourself to try to connect that are
Absolutely. And your
pretty.
website is, while we're on that
Yeah,
subject,
it's
your website is
www.bannermedium.com. Very simple. Banner Medium.
bannermedium.com, www.bannermedium.com. Wow. Click that link in the description of this segment and you're on your way.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Barbara. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for your awareness. This was absolutely amazing
Thank you.
to engage in an amazing dialogue with you. I appreciate you very much. Again, like I said, for being here with me this present moment. Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching and or listening. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe. Help the platform grow. Share it. Help get this information out there as well. And I appreciate you all for your support. And those of you that this is your first time, thank you. Welcome. I appreciate you. If you're interested also in being a guest on the Enlightened Empowered Evolved podcast, send me an email, 333empower@gmail.com. I appreciate you. See you soon, Enlightened Empowered Evolved.